Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Otaku Podcast. Whoa! Starting 15 minutes later, as per our tradition of technical difficulties.
Hey.
As my watch today says, I was surprised the podcast came back, and we do have a few changes, which we'll be going over in a little bit. But hey, David.
Hey,
how's
Sachie.
it going?
Oh, things are good. How about you?
They're going pretty good. I see that we don't have we're missing two people here.
We are,
Well, you might be wondering what happened. Essentially, Ben and B were let go. We fired them. I fired them. Trump style. You fired. Get out of here.
No, that's not what happened.
That's not what happened.
May I?
I'm just playing.
So the issue is more with B in particular. Scheduling was the big issue for all parties. Given the massive time difference, it became a problem for her more than it became a problem for us. And so she's taken a step back and said she'd be willing to guest occasionally. I'll be talking a little bit more about that in a little bit. And Ben talked to me about it personally, saying he felt like he was just sort of here, just being the average commenter.
Resident, like, normal person.
Yeah. However, I did say to him, if we ever do a Death Note episode, which considering the movie came out recently, much to critics panning, and I think I haven't watched it yet, but I'm thinking if we talk Death Note, I'm thinking it'd be worth to bring Ben on because he loves that show. He loves that property, so he might be able to offer a good additional skewering for the Netflix movie.
That's true. Oh, don't get us started.
Well,
that's a whole other thing. Have you watched
That's
it
a
yet?
whole other topic. No, I have not.
Okay, well, prepare a bucket because you'll be barfing a lot. It was pretty bad.
I have voiced before.
Bad.
I have voiced before that Death Note was not my favorite anime, and so I don't think that the movie would by any extension be any good. But that's just me. I will try to watch the anime again to be able to make a fair comparison.
Yeah.
But I know it's different. But
if you think of them as two completely like separate movies, I guess okay, no, we're getting off track. This is not what our podcast is about. That's for another thing. Today we're here to talk about Deku. We're here to talk about Boku. Is it Boku no Hero?
Boku no Hero Academia, aka My Hero Academia.
I always get Boku no Hero and Boku
Hero no Academia.
Yeah. It always messes me up. But anyway, we're going to be talking about the details of season 1 of this amazing series. So if you haven't watched it yet, or you're watching through it now, or you don't want to hear spoilers, we will be uploading the audio podcast and the YouTube video later. So you could always come back to this later.
Indeed.
And if you're listening to the audio podcast now, hello.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. So just a quick note on the audio podcast. A lot of people didn't know that it actually is a thing. Sachie and I talked about it, and we agreed that we would launch the new page for Otaku. So Otaku has a website now, a more up-to-date one than the previous one. Yeah. It has a little more information on it, too, which is good. But it also features the audio podcast exclusively there. So you'll be able to you'll be able to listen to the audio podcast as well as find our YouTube playlist there as well. So that's at dbsteelmedia.com/otaku. So if you want to check it out, when I edit this for archive, I will put that link on the screen so everybody can see it.
Awesome. Okay, so let's jump into this. We have a My Anime List synopsis, but I'm guessing, have you guys watched this series in the chat? I have a feeling most people.
Most people have seen it. My Hero Academia season 1 came out last year, so I think it'd be fair to say it's been out long enough that most people who are really active in the anime community have seen it.
Okay, so anyway, I'll speed read through this. So in My Hero Academia, the appearance of Quark's newly discovered superpowers has been steadily rising or increasing over the years, with 80% of humanity possessing various abilities from manipulation of elements to shapeshifting. This leaves the remainder of the world completely powerless, and Izuku Midoriya Deku is one such individual. Since he was a child, the ambitious middle schooler has wanted nothing more than to be a hero. Izuku's fate leaves him admiring heroes and taking notes on them whenever he can, but it seems that his persistence has borne some fruit. What a weird way of explaining it. But
that is a thing.
It makes sense. Izuku meets the #1 hero and his personal idol, All Might. All Might's quirk is a unique ability that can be inherited, and he has chosen Izuku to be his successor.
And that's probably the coolest thing about it. It really is.
Let's talk about that in a second, because I have
Indeed.
opinions on that.
Oh, okay.
Enduring many months of grueling training, Izuku enrolls in UA High, a prestigious high school famous for its excellent hero training program. Wow, another prestigious high school in anime. Who would have thought?
Yay, more high school.
I know. And this year's freshmen look especially promising, of course. With his bizarre but talented classmates and the looming threat of a villainous organization, Izuku will soon learn what it really means to be a hero.
Yeah, just high school. And you know what? That's not a bad thing necessarily, but it's overplayed. Mm-hmm. There's so much high school in anime. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I get that anime tends to be made for people in that age demographic, but it's hard to find stuff that's in an older demographic, I'd say.
Yeah.
Say for like geared towards college, university students. Mm-hmm. Golden Time was a good example of that, where the characters were actually set in that age group. Mm-hmm. But that's the only one I can actually think of. But there are some great high school shows, arguably like this one.
It's more,
but also crappy ones.
You have more of a chance of finding those series in manga. I think in anime, obviously they cater to whatever they think will make the money. Mm-hmm. But our question of the day, and you out there, if you've watched My Hero Academia, you answer this in the comments as well, because we want to know, obviously, who is your favorite character and why?
If you haven't watched the show yet, I'm sure you've seen the meme of Kid Deku just headbanging everywhere. But I remember this was what really actually got me into watching the show, is because Sachie tweeted about it with a gif of Deku just
I love My Hero
headbanging so fast it was absurd. It said, "Hello, do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior?" Yeah. And it was just Deku. I said, I can't take this seriously, and because of that, I have to watch it now. And I marathoned the first season in one sitting. Yeah. In one sitting, whereas when it came down to getting this episode up, it took a lot to say to Sachie, so you got me into it and I watched it. Are you done yet? Are you done yet?
Yes,
we got a podcast.
Yes, no. I've done my homework.
Good.
No, I've done my homework. I basically I do this with every anime at the beginning, the first 3 episodes. If it's like caught my attention, I'm like, yes, this is amazing. And then I stop watching until like, isn't season 2 like 30 episodes in or something?
Not 30. There's 25 episodes for season 2 from what I was reading on My Anime List.
Because I know I'm behind.
Episode 34, I think, came out this past week.
Oh, okay.
It may have been 35, but that was in Japanese. But the dub version of it from Funimation, they are releasing episode 33, I think, this Saturday.
Okay. Because the way that I watched it was first 3, yes, this is amazing, left a gap, then watched up till episode 9, and then was like, oh my god, this is great, and then just like stopped for like 3 weeks.
A month. Yeah.
Like a month. And then David's like, have you watched it yet? I'm like, no, I'm getting around to it. But
and then I encouraged you to check out the other version as well.
Then I finally watched them, and I watched I actually went back just as a refresher and watched from I think episode 8, but I watched the Funimation dub just to see how they did it and kind of get used to the voices. And we'll talk about the dub later on, but
but we have a question to answer.
It. Yeah, anyway, my favorite
We have
character.
Questions. Yeah, who's your favorite character and why?
My favorite character. Okay, so obviously I love the cute girls because that's all I ever watch anime for. So my favorite characters. First one was Uraraka.
Uraraka.
Uraraka. She reminds me kind of Yui from K-On, where she's like super cute and bouncy and like clumsy, and she's so adorable. And her hero outfit is the cutest thing ever. Like, she's got these really chunky boots, and she's just so cute. I just love her. She's so pure and must be protected at all costs. And then, of course, I love Froppy. Everyone freaking loves Froppy. That's Asui. Tsuruya. I only call her Froppy.
Long names.
I don't care about her actual name.
Hero names are totally acceptable.
Froppy.
Hero names are totally good.
She's so cute. And the fact that basically in season 1 you don't see her that much at the beginning. I think you only really see her in the last part where they're doing like when shit starts getting real. And then you start seeing things about her quirk and her powers. And I like how she's originally painted as someone who's doesn't have any emotion. Like, she's kind of like all the time.
Sort of bland.
Like, la, la, la. And then there's I can't remember. What's his name? Minoru Mineta? The guy with the little ball things.
Oh, that guy.
When he accidentally, like, touches her boob and she's like, ah, and I'm like, oh, emotion. Oh, no, I love you even more. I love it. Yeah. So, anyway, 2 girls. Who else do I like? I can't remember their names. Sorry, I have the character. Yeah. And, like, I can describe them. I like girl with a ponytail, the massive ponytail that can make things.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember her name, but I know who plays her.
Momo, yes.
Yeah, her. Yeah, her.
She's cool.
She is.
And then, if I had to pick a dude, the most tolerable one I like is class president guy. I think he's really funny.
Tenya.
Yes, I like him.
If you like him now, I think you'll love him in season 2. He's so good.
I was gonna say, like, for the first few episodes, he really reminded me of a certain character. Mm-hmm. And I just couldn't put my finger on, like, who does he remind me of? He kind of looks like... I don't know why, but I thought of Sosuke from Free, and I haven't even watched Free. He's like the guy with the dark hair and blue eyes.
Yeah. And I haven't watched it either, but I know I've seen enough of Octopimp's parody 50% off to be able to know, okay, that's this character, and then there's Thugisa.
Yeah, and basically, so, like, his character, like, I don't know, the way he looks reminds me of that, but his personality just reminds me of every... Oh, actually, what's his name in Toradora?
Kitamura, yeah.
Yeah, the personality kind of... I guess it's with the glasses, too, that kind of reminds me of him.
I could see that.
Those were the vibes I was getting from him, but I think he's really funny. And I think he has, based on my season 1 knowledge, I feel like he has a lot more potential in the following seasons. So yes, cute girls and then class president are my favorite. What about you, David?
You know, you kind of stole one of mine. I really, and this is based on season 1 and season 2. And I won't get into season 2 because that's not what we're talking about today. Tenya Ida, the class president, he's definitely one of my favorites. Mm-hmm. More so because of character development. Another favorite of mine is Shoto Todoroki, who's the half and half guy, the ice and fire.
Yeah, I like him.
He's so cool. I love that character. Uraraka, really like her. She just seems like the kind of person who's, as you were saying, just this really fun, kind of the ordinary character, but with the awesome power.
She seems really kind to me.
She is.
Like, she's always nice to people, and she's like, try your best. And before, in the second exam where they have to do the bomb thing, she's like, I'm sorry, this is gonna hurt you later. Like, I'm sorry. And then she smacks him. So
I thought that was good. I also think because she's sort of that ordinary person, and her motivation to become a hero is discussed later on, I think in season 2. Mm-hmm. It may have been the end of season 1, I can't remember, but definitely season 2. It just sort of grounds everybody, reminds them, hey, we have these great abilities, but we're still people. And I really respect that. And I really like that character. But there's also Izuku, Deku, as...
He's not bad.
More so because I've been in that situation where you're talked down to and you're basically told you're worthless, you're worth nothing, you're not going to amount to anything. And I was able to see that. And then there was a part in the first season where All Might's sort of talking reality with them, saying, look, it's not a bad thing to have a dream. Just, make sure your dreams are attainable and realistic. And I thought that's just perfect life advice. Mm-hmm. Don't take that with a grain of salt. Just take that as gospel, because that's true. Have dreams, but be realistic about it. See, so I thought that was really good.
This anime teaches you life lessons.
Yeah.
Hello. Amazing anime.
So like Deku, more so because of the connection that I think anybody can find a connection in an anime or any TV show for that matter, a movie. You always find that one character where you can personally identify with just in terms of their situation and relate it to yours. And I think it's really cool. But just because you have a dream, you have to think a little realistically about it. You can dream like I'm going to be a rock star or I'm going to be a famous artist, but if you don't have any kind of backup, you won't necessarily be able to.
I want to be an anime character. That's attainable, right?
Right? Yes, it is.
Actually,
there are people who become it.
I'm being unintentionally anime today because someone, Oodles and Noodles, commented Shima sweater. I got my Shima pantsu inspired sweater on. I'm so
nice.
Anime.
More anime than me. I'm just wearing a One OK Rock t-shirt. But there's that.
Equally as weeb.
Well, just as weeb, but then there's all this other stuff over here. But whatever. That's another thing altogether.
Actually, I think that's we have our favorite characters. Who's your least favorite character so far? Because I personally, I know right off the top, right when I saw him, I'm like, I hate you.
For me, my least favorite character is probably Minoru Mineta, the guy with the ball head, like the sticky balls and all that crap. I didn't really like him, more so because while I found that Brita Palencia's dub version of him was actually hilarious, I found that it just played on so many stereotypical things about short guys who don't really get a chance at any real opportunity, be it with people or be it in their lives. And it just sort of seemed like, okay, you're beating a dead horse here.
Oh no.
There's nothing. I found that. Well, like I said, when I found her Palencia's performance hilarious, I just can't find Mineta's character endearing. It's just hard.
He's just more of like a pity character. Like he's thrown in there, a pity character, but he's also he looks like a child. Like he looks like a baby, so it kind of makes sense, I think, that he's really whiny and like you don't really take him too seriously.
Yeah. And what about you, Sachie? Did you have a character you disliked?
Least favorite Oh, God. Sit down and let me tell you.
I'm already halfway there.
I cannot deal with Bakugo. I cannot deal with him because he just reminds me with all the whiny man babies that I have to deal with on Overwatch who sit there and are just like, "Weh, I'm better. I thought I was better than you." Okay, I am talking about like Matt and his friends because but like,
it just so characteristically fits with him.
Speaking as a Mercy main, applying this to the world of My Hero Academia. Even when I do solo queue, these whiny man babies come on and they're like, I hate life. Wah. I thought I was gonna be better than you. How dare you upstage me? Even though we're on the same team, I need to like show you up. Sorry, there's a fruit fly like flying around my face and it keeps disappearing. Anyway, sorry. Yes, he represents the salty Overwatch bitches, and I just can't deal with it. So I like how someone saw that coming in the chat.
Interestingly enough, playing off of Bakugo, one of the things that I suggested we talk about is like aside from characters we didn't really like, there was also moments. I had one that I really did not like, and it involves Bakugo. And the very first episode where Bakugo is bullying Deku in the first episode, I had this weird feeling that the studio and the manga itself, I haven't read ahead, so I don't know. I have this weird feeling they're going to try and make Bakugo a really good guy in the future.
So their redemption arc?
I am never going to see him in that light. Simply because the first episode made me realize two core things about him. One, he's exceptionally cocky, and as you put it, a whiny man baby complaining when things don't go his way. But he's very talented at the same time. So his ego is not without any sort of backing. So there's that, and I can get that, but it doesn't mean I have to like it. And the thing I hated the most about him is that he's willing to throw anybody under the bus to get what he wants. And I'm not okay with that, because the whole point with this class, as the instructors were talking about in a couple of the episodes, you got to know who your own strengths, but you have to be able to function as a team. He is not a team player, and so I don't see it working out for him being the good guy.
Yeah, he's definitely like I think they're setting him up for a redemption arc where there's going to be some time in the future where Deku and Bakugo are going to be forced to they're going to be put into a situation where they're going to have to team up. This kind of leads into a second thing we wanted to discuss, which was similar shows. And in my mind, when I'm watching this, I'm immediately drawing parallels with Naruto. I'm literally seeing Naruto all the time because I see Bakugo as like a hyped up, like hot-headed version of like young Sasuke. This whole thing where they're doing exams reminded me of Chunin exams. That's what I was thinking of the entire time. I'm like, okay, so you have all these kids with special abilities put into like kind of teams where they have to work together. Look, an evil organization has kind of like made its way into the exams, and like teachers can't get there in time, and I'm just thinking like, okay, Naruto, this is Chunin exams.
Well, it's the same magazine as Naruto is published in. But if you think that was a similarity to the Chunin exams, just wait for season 2. Oh god, it was so good.
I love the Chunin exam arc though. I think it was one of my favorites.
And I don't mean to derail it either, or deride it for that matter. The first major arc of season 2 was awesome, and you should definitely check it out.
Okay, yeah.
We'll have to do a follow-up on season 2 when it ends, and that's in a couple of weeks, so we should be able to make that happen.
The other thing that kind of I was just like, oh, okay, yes, I'm seeing Naruto. I'm seeing early Naruto here. Is when they talk about All Might's abilities being passed down. And I thought, okay, Sharingan. Because this is like, I'm thinking of like Kakashi right now. And you know how his friend gives him the Sharingan ability?
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, this is passing down abilities reminds me of that.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. I definitely agree on the whole Naruto and also by extension Boruto comparison. But I also see One Piece in this because each individual, there's a ton of characters in One Piece, as we're aware. I think they just aired their 800th episode recently.
Damn.
Which is insane.
That's too much.
Each of those characters of the core cast, they all have their distinct quirks in a way, not quirks like My Hero Academia, but they have their own thing.
Got me.
They have their own quirks in their own way, and they're very memorable for that reason. And I think it's easy to stick with a show like One Piece, even though it's unbearably long, because of the fact that you can go back and say, I want to see how Brooke and Frankie are going to hang out. In this instance, it's going to be with My Hero Academia. It's going to be more, I want to see how Uraraka and Deku work. Or that exam arc that All Might put them through, I thought was really cool, where they just sort of see who's capable of what, which was really good. Now I had a question for you, Sachie.
Yes.
What's your favorite moment from season 1?
Ooh, okay. First episode, the thing that got me into this show was Mount Lady. And the part where she basically, when they're revealing like the first heroes, when Deku's like, holy shit, what's happening? And Mount Lady, like, first of all, she's tall and beautiful and I love her. And her first line is like, pleased to meet your ass acquaintance. And it's like her sticking her butt out. That was, I like, God.
The interesting thing is that I watched the whole show in the English version first because that was available to me. The line for that says, "I'm Mount Lady. You won't have to worry about this bum anymore." And it was sort of like a tamed down one,
Lame.
but the shot where there's a bunch of guys just sort of scrolling across the screen taking pictures. They changed the dialogue for that, and it's just they're all just saying "money shot" in sequence, which was hilarious. Money shot, and it's all like lower as if you're whispering "money shot, money shot, money shot." It was hilarious.
God. That's incredible.
I found it so funny that it took away from the lame pun, the lame pun that she used. But it was just great. I've watched the Japanese version. I thought, okay, that works, but it would work better if I understood the language fluently and didn't have to read the subtitles.
I feel the Ass Quainton part is definitely up there. My second favorite moment was during the second exam. I think it was probably around, was it episode like 8 or 9? Was it 7 or 8 or something?
I think it's like 6 or 7 or something like that.
Where they were doing the bomb exercise, where they were put in the building and they had to go against another pair of students in the class. Basically, Deku and Uraraka working together, which is really cute. I kind of like that whole episode, especially one of my favorite parts. I live for these little moments where the girl destroys the man with her cuteness. When she basically talks about her uniform, and she's like, "Oh, like what?" Did she say something like, "Oh my"?
Something like, "I really shouldn't have ordered the skin tight suit."
My outfit's too tight. Like, ooh, and then he's just like, "Blood."
He's like, "Oh God."
Cute.
that was pretty funny.
But I liked watching Uraraka kind of getting serious and fighting, but then immediately like throwing up after she used her power and
Too
like
much,
kind of going back down. So she's like a comedic relief, and I really like her in the series. Also, every Froppy scene ever. She's just so cute. I love her character design. She's just really funny. She's really she's really quirky. Ha ha ha. But yeah, every Froppy scene, every single one.
Froppy's a lot of fun.
Froppy's cute. What about you?
I have two, and only two. I mean, I really enjoyed the show. I've said it how many times now? Maybe 10. But two moments in particular that stood out to me were actually joint together, which was Deku's massive smash attack at the entrance exams, which was just awesome. The music together with the scene was just great. I loved it. And also right after that, the letter of acceptance to UA High. Where the video message came up, and you're just sort of thinking, well, I blew it. I completely blew it. There's no way I made it in. And then All Might starts saying, fortunately for you, it wasn't just based on combat points.
Yeah. When he's like, you get like 60 rescue points, and you're like,
it was more the fact that he proved, without even knowing it, he proved to himself that doing the right thing in that thing, what he felt was right, in making sure that Uraraka wasn't going to get hurt, especially considering a robot had crushed her ankle or something like that. Going to help somebody this is so cheesy, but it's the essence of what it means to be a hero. And so,
David,
to help others is to be a hero. So I felt that was really justified and kind of moving, I guess.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed that too. I really like that.
I thought that was a really powerful moment, more so than the first episode where first or second episode where the flashback happens, where he's watching the video of All Might, then they cut to the scene with the doctor.
Yeah.
I think in the Japanese version, the doctor said, "You should probably give up," in the subtitle, but in the English dub, it says, "Sorry, kid, it's not going to happen." It was just this immediate, not "you should probably give up your dream." It's give up, not happening. It was a lot more hit. It was more shit hit the fan way faster in that scene for the English version, I felt, but both were really comparable. When you have anime YouTubers like Giguk praising the dub when he is like a sub purist, I think that says a lot about the quality of this dub in particular. And I felt that the actors were really good. It's a great blend of new and old. So I would encourage everybody here, if you've watched the subtitled version of season 1, great. Check out the dub too. It's really good.
I really like the dub, and I think that English dubs, before I was like a purist where I'm like, no, I'm never watching the dubs like ever. And then I got into Terror and Resonance. I think that was the one where I watched the entire series of the dub. And I started getting into it more, and now I'm realizing like I think they're really upping the quality, and some actors and actresses' performances are as good as the Japanese ones or better.
Arguably sometimes better. I mean, Cowboy Bebop was the one that everyone praises as being the best. It's so good that the Japanese versions of the actors have heard the English version and they thought, holy crap, this is really good.
Yeah.
And that's really cool and good praise. But it's also awesome to see that companies like Sentai Filmworks, Funimation, and Viz and other companies are really upping their game, saying we want to have authenticity and we want to make sure that the fan base is happy, but also have both versions.
For sure.
Which I think that's a strong move.
I love it. Those emotionally charged scenes are what I really like. It's the action and the character designs are all really good, but it's the little moments. Yeah.
The thing that really got me, aside from the whole premise of the show and the endless memes of Deku headbanging, was the soundtrack and also the opening theme. The opening theme is just really just pump up immediately, and I just loved it. Loved it. So good.
Wait, also one thing that I forgot to mention earlier that I just thought of, a series that this really reminds me of is One Punch Man.
Oh yeah.
So that's sorry. I was thinking just now because I'm like, the opening theme is like a rock song, which is also the same as One Punch Man, or was that the ending? I know One Punch Man has some like crazy rock opening, right?
Oh,
yeah, it's the opening. It's the opening.
The opening is the crazy rock song, but it's a totally different group that did it.
It's a different group, but I don't know. I just like drew similarities there. Also, the scene that really reminded me of One Punch Man, obviously Deku's punch. I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's similar to the scene with the giant monster scene.
Yeah.
That just worked perfectly.
And also the scene where he's cleaning up the beach and he's doing all his training. Mm-hmm. Even though he's really emotional while doing it, and Saitama is just kind of like, oh, look, I lost all my hair. Okay, better, like, continue training, and, like...
Yeah, just nothing, no big deal. No big deal. Oh, wait, all of a sudden I'm bald. Damn.
Yeah, and, like, Saitama is, he technically isn't a guy who's, like, born with power. Like, he just trained really hard.
Yeah.
And got the punch. But, I was thinking, like, oh, yeah, I'm definitely getting One Punch Man vibes here.
Yeah, I can definitely see the similarities there, no question.
Yeah.
And I've already said my similar shows of Naruto, Boruto, and One Piece.
It's like Shonen. No, Shonen.
It's
Jump.
it's all. They're all from Shonen Jump. They're all from.
Okay, so like I find this, and I know this is probably what this show would be geared more towards, like kids in high school, and like I guess we're getting old now.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that the content geared towards that age group isn't bad, but then again, that's only applicable if you're talking about Japanese animation. Everything else is crap.
I was gonna say, with like shonen shows that are geared towards high school kids, it's the same formula. And I remember reading like a comic strip making fun of it, but basically it was like when you think he's going to lose, he'll win, and it's happened in literally everything, like. Yep. Fairy tale, like every main character, it's like, oh, he's gonna lose. Then he's just like, no, with the power within me and my hopes and dreams, I need to protect all of my friends. Suddenly all the power in the world, boom. Oh, boom. Wow, yay.
One victory. Like underdog stories have always done well, be it in animation or other forms of media. And I think that's sort of what I really appreciate about Deku's character, is that he is the ultimate underdog in this story. He came from absolutely nothing. And all of a sudden, hey, I have this great opportunity to show that I can live up to my dream. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and like another series, it's a manga, and I think they also made it an anime, but it's quite an old series. It was one of the first ones that I read, and it was called Boku and Alice. And it's, again, about these kids that have these special abilities, and they're kind of, except in that manga, they're ranked by like different levels. So some kids have like really pointless things, which I guess could apply to quirks, really pointless things, and then you have like the really dangerous ones.
Yes.
And it's about a girl who joins this academy, and she basically wants to go because her best friend is going, and her best friend has some like invention like ability where she can just make all these little like robots and create things, kind of like the creation quirk.
Yeah.
And she meets a guy who's dangerous and has his ability is like a fire ability. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I'm seeing it here. It's always like the moody guy who has like attitude problems, who's like, oh, I've suddenly got all this fire power. Whoa.
Yep. That's not entirely true. I mean, yeah, with Fairy Tail, Natsu's moody, but he's also not malicious about it. He's not always going out of his way to hurt other people. He's always he gets pissed off or fired up for the right reasons, I'd argue. Sometimes it's trivial, but when they're fighting with Gray. But when it really comes down to it, he's not fighting for himself. He's fighting for other people. Bakugo, on the other hand, is fighting for himself and only himself, because he is a absolute ass.
Shit.
He's an ass. That's exactly what he is.
Did you notice that guy in My Hero Academia who looks like Natsu? What's his name? He's the guy who like kind of hangs out with Bakugo, but he doesn't wear a shirt and he has like spiky hair and fangs. I'm like, oh, so you're this version, this anime's version of Natsu. I see.
Yeah, it's just that's not his ability though. His ability, it's like the redheaded guy, right?
Yeah, the redheaded guy.
Yeah. He's like his ability is to turn into stone or really, really harden his skin so he can't get hurt.
Yeah.
That comes to a head in season 2. That comes to a head in season 2. It's actually kind of comical how they brought that up.
Oh, really?
So I would really encourage you to check that out. It's really good. And Bakugo as well, sort of, he doesn't have any major development aside from being a massive prick all the time. But there's a lot of movement in season 2, and it's a good one. Mm-hmm. It's a good movement.
Someone in the comment just said Todoroki is Natsu and Gray fused together.
Kinda, yeah. But his oh my god, his backstory. Oh my god, it's a big it's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It says a lot about certain things, but I felt that was really really well written in
He
both
literally
language
is
versions.
Natsu and Gray though, because you have the fire and ice thing.
Yeah, but he also doesn't have the big mood swings between the two of those characters.
He's like the happy medium. He's literally just stick them together.
Yeah, no, definitely check out season 2, and you will probably be surprised about that part.
Yeah. Minoru? Is it Minoru?
The little bald-headed guy. Mineta, yeah.
He reminds me, was there a series called like something Kaikyo Hitman Reborn?
I can't say I've heard of it.
Hitman Reborn was a big Shonen Jump anime, like I think back when I was in high school, I think. So it's quite old now.
Okay.
But he had this little like baby character that looks very similar. So that's what I'm thinking of when I see.
Is he a pervy little kid? Like the same kid?
I never watched the
like
series.
The
I'm just basing it on like character design. Like they look the same.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm really excited for the series.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing where they keep going. I'm hoping that they announce a 3rd season. Mm-hmm. And I just remember when I posted that video the other day announcing, "Hey, we're coming back." I realized that I put the words season 3 in the video, and I thought, "Oh crap!" Somebody retweeted or quoted retweet saying, "Really excited about this." I said, "Just to be clear, this is for the podcast. They haven't officially announced season 3, though we really want one."
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, I was covering the bases just to be safe.
Yeah.
But there was nothing to worry about.
I'm pretty sure they'll do a season 3. Like it seems like it's going to be a series that goes on forever. I feel like this is the new Naruto.
The new One Piece.
New One Piece.
One Piece has started before Naruto and is still going. Naruto's over, but Boruto is going now.
It's
Boruto's going now, but I haven't checked that out. I saw a clip from Crunchyroll on Facebook for them, and it was actually really funny for Boruto. But I don't know. It seems like an enormous commitment to jump back in.
Mm-hmm. And yes, we meant season 3 of Otaku.
We did mean to say season 3 of Otaku. It's just I worried that somebody had misinterpreted what I said, what we had written in the video, which we don't want to confuse anybody.
Also, we mean to ask you guys, let us know in the comments of any future anime that you'd like us to discuss, because
I see one. Someone's already got one.
Food Wars season 3.
Yes.
Now that B's not here.
B hated that show. B hated that show. I remember watching all of season 1 in about a day, which was nuts because that's 24 episodes. But I did it all in one day, and I also started like experimenting with basic food dishes that I'd been making at that same time. Nice. And then I watched season 2 as it aired. Season 3 starting this fall. So did you watch season 2 yet of that one? Shokugeki.
No.
Do it.
I'll get around to it.
Do it.
I've been
season
bad
1
at watching anime though. Like recently, there haven't been many things that have caught my attention anime wise.
Yeah.
So I mean, like this is obviously an exception, and I'm super into it, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm probably gonna go marathon season 2. So I guess we could do a season 2 wrap
in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I think it ends at the end of September, which is something that we'll have to coordinate carefully. We might be able to do a mid-October one. I don't know. I mean, there's that thing that's coming up for me, so that's gonna be.
Yeah, let's talk about that. We're gonna wrap up soon, but David, tell us what's gonna be happening in October.
I'm going to Japan.
Woo! I'm not, but yeah, celebrate. That's
so
exciting.
I'll be gone from the 15th through the 28th, and if we're able to, and I can't make any guarantees, but if we're able to, when I'm in Osaka, I might be able to get B to come and hang out, and we might be able to do a podcast.
Oh, that's so exciting. So are you going to be going on your trip by yourself? Or
going with... Yeah, I'm going on my own. The plan was to go with a friend of ours from university, but unfortunately, he was not able to join me on this one, which I respect, and it's sad that he couldn't come. It would be a lot more fun with another person, but... And I did ask Sachie if she wanted to come, but...
I have no money right now.
Politely...
I just bought my camera, and I have, like, no money left.
I understand.
I keep telling myself, like, this camera will pay for itself. It'll pay for itself.
Yeah. But, so, yeah, I'll be going to Japan for about 13 days. Because
that's so
you lose a day in travel. It's a 13-hour flight from Toronto. which is nuts.
Yeah.
So there's that. I'll be in Tokyo, Osaka, Hiroshima, and then Tokyo again.
Oh, that's so exciting. Oh, I'm so jealous of you.
Well, I've been planning this for years, and I wanted to go last year, but I couldn't do it for reasons of bad planning and such, which, and then there was obligations for other things, but I was able to get that worked out, so I'm going to Japan, and that'll be fun, which might interfere with more Nisekoi Bridge stuff, because I want to get episode 4 out by the end of the year, so I will guarantee that it will be out before the end of the year.
If you believe in David, go in the comments and type, "I believe in you, David."
Thank you. Thank you in advance. Even if people say, "No, I don't believe in you," it doesn't matter.
No. We pray for David, everyone. But yeah.
First world problems. We're going to Japan, so that might make it hard for me to edit a video for an abridged parody.
I know.
Yeah. Speaking of said abridged parody, we lost Sid Snap as Chitoge, which sucks, but she's moving on to bigger and better things.
One person believes in you. Sammy.
Thank you.
Sammy believes in you.
Yep. Thanks, Philly and Sammy. And anyway, we lost Sid Snap, unfortunately. But I can announce that we have a replacement. We have a new Chitoge for Nisekoi Bridge, which is great. Her name is Red as a Tomato, and she's replaced. She's just great, and I'm hopeful that we'll be able to create the best performance. And we also have our friend and co-host Sachie reprising her role as Seishiro Sugumi.
Hell yeah!
And I've already given her fair warning. I'll give everyone else a pseudo peek into what I've been thinking. The big scene with Sachie and I will be very taxing on both of us, and I can already guarantee that.
Hell yeah! I'm ready. My lungs are ready to scream.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun, I hope. And I've had this music bit for it for the longest time, and I'm really excited to actually put it out. So that will be available YouTube, and if it gets tanked, website, because I've been overhauling my website, and I'm happy about that.
Yay! Well, anyway, that I think wraps up today's podcast. Sorry for those of you who just joined. More towards
the end. But we'll have the archive up soon.
So you can catch the audio version and also the video version over on the website, which David
has
put together.
Think. Yeah, so it's dbsteelmedia.com/otaku, where you'll be able to view to be able to see and hear the audio podcast. The YouTube version will be going up first, though, because I derive the audio versions from the YouTube ones to make sure there's no inconsistencies. So I do my best to make sure that the audio from that sounds the best for the YouTube version, and then I put the audio one up. And the best part with the audio one, it works on mobile. It works on Android, iOS, Mac, PC, etc. So if you're at home and you just need
I'm like, woo, for
everything. If you're at home doing chores and you need background noise or whatever, you're able to just throw it on without having to keep looking up. You're just able to hear. And this has, as of right now, all of the vintage episodes featuring myself, Sachie.
Vintage episodes. I like that.
Myself, at Sachie, Ben, and B are all available on the website, as well as the 3 special episodes for Toradora, Terror in Residence, and Defrag.
Also, forgot to mention this before, but if you are interested in participating in the Otaku Podcast with us, we are looking for some guest podcasters later on in later episodes. So if you're interested in that, at us at Otaku Podcast on Twitter, and we'll reach out and we might be able to organize something. So yeah, anyway. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to get you guys on here. No running from me anymore. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you in the next podcast.
We'll be back soon, and more importantly, we're back.
We're back.
See you soon.
Yay!
See you soon, everyone.